It's interesting because the minute we started marketing and what I call using our golden recipe for coffee, it really changed for the positive. Like we're up, day over day, and then LY we're up over 100%.
Wow.
Just because of simple things like being organized, having metrics, structure, systems, core values, a solid mission statement, good quality product and local product too.
Welcome to the Coffee Experts Club, where we discuss all of the insights, expertise, and drama that goes into making your passion your profession. Our hosts, Aaron, Ben, and Drew, are three coffee experts who have taken their coffee experience and turned it into true expertise. They have consulted with major coffee brands throughout the United States and beyond, providing operations expertise and growth strategy for drive-through openings, multiple locations, and everything in between. So brew yourself a cup and hang out a bit with the Coffee Experts Club.
Welcome to the Coffee Experts Club, the club full of experts about coffee.
I'm glad to be a part of this interview.
Give us a little intro of yourself. Who are you? You are Jarrett Gillam, but what is it that you do?
I'm Jarrett Gillam. I own Swig Coffee Bar. It's a new local company in Tri-Cities, Washington. And that's kind of what I do. Make coffee, man, and then create opportunity for people.
And you guys you're getting ready to do grand opening. You're in sort of like a soft launch right now, basically.
Yeah, so we're still transitioning from the old company to the new company. So that takes time, getting all the hiccups out and everything. Yeah, we were gonna do it October 7th, but the bank has their grand opening October 2nd in the same parking lot. So we didn't want it to be too crazy.
What does a bank grand opening look like?
I don't know, but they're gonna buy all their employees drinks from us. So I'm stoked on it, man.
That's cool. So Swig Coffee, so are you guys doing any deals for grand opening? Is there anything that like the World Wide Web should know about?
Yes, it'll be 5 days worth of deals. It'll be a lot of good deals. First day is going to be $2 drinks with a limited menu. Holla. And then the next 4 days, you're going to have to stop by on $2 drink and find out all the rest of those deals.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
It's gonna be sweet. We'll have the radio out there the first day. We'll have DJs out there the other days.
Nice.
You might even be able to see some familiar barista faces. So around the Tri-City, some infamous baristas.
And yeah, famous or infamous. That's such a great spot too, because there are 4 banks like around you.
There's a lot of banks. There's a lot of I hope Costco still goes up. Over there.
It's supposed to be on the other side of the freeway from you, right?
Yep. It's supposed to be, but there's all kinds of rumors going on. But regardless, I'm sure something will open up over there in the next, 5 or 10 years.
Well, that's supposed to be where the new big growth phase is for Pasco too, right? Is Road 100 along the river, all of that stuff, all right by the get off of the freeway, which puts you in a pretty great spot.
And we will be on the highway. Our sign, we'll have our sign on the highway.
Nice.
So look out for that too.
So Swig Coffee, it's your new venture. Obviously, we know you from Roasters Coffee. We were at Roasters for years and years and years and years and years. So coming from Roasters, where you're an employee, it's an exec position. What would you say is the biggest change or the biggest challenge that you had to deal with going from I'm the employee to now I'm the owner and oh crap, now everything's on my head?
I don't know, man. Roasters was definitely a challenge, and this is just one store versus 14. So there's strengths and weaknesses to all of it. I'd say one of the biggest hurdles is actually creating the deal, finding employees that are all in, finding something that's different to the community. So you're not run of the mill I would say one of the biggest hurdles that I'm going through and have gone through is make sure that if you are buying an existing location and changing it to something else, make sure you get every single username and password from the previous owner. Because it can be, that could be a big challenge if you don't do that.
Yeah, how annoying was that, having to like change over all the utilities, the water? Like, was that just like a headache and a half?
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. And it wasn't so much the utilities as it is like we're switching POSs. So that's interesting. We're going from Square to Toast. Really stoked on Toast and everything they have to offer. And yeah, the previous owner thought that we had Toast already and accidentally shut off our Square. So that was a fun challenge. A fun couple of days, 2 days of just like, hey, do you guys sorry, our POS is down. Do you have any cash? You want to pay in cash? So that was interesting.
And of course, nobody carries cash anymore.
Yeah, well, we did pretty well, man. And you know, if people don't pay cash, you know, I'm all about like, you know, if you can, I know you're gonna come back and pay for it later. Like, I'm gonna hook you up. I don't want people leaving unhappy at all. So yeah, it wasn't horrible, but in the moment, you know, it was quite stressful.
All those little things that happen, like that come up out of nowhere, you're like, oh crap, I have to deal with this now.
Yeah. Same with swapping over security. That was difficult because they have like legit cameras. They don't have, you know, the wonky little cameras that we had. This is a legit security system. So yeah.
What's the customer feedback been like? I mean, did they see it coming? Were they like, oh crap, what's this brand new thing?
It's interesting because the minute like we started marketing and, you know, what I call using our golden recipe for coffee, it really changed for the positive. Like, we're up, I mean, day over day, and then LY, we're up over 100%.
Wow.
Just because of simple things like being organized, having metrics, structure, systems, core values, a solid mission statement, good quality product, and local product too. So we've actually partnered with El Fat Cat. So we carry their breakfast burrito and a breakfast sandwich that they don't carry. And we cook those. They make them, deliver it to us, and we cook them,
Yep.
you know, right then and there as you order it. And they're phenomenal. I'm not just saying that. I mean, if you've eaten El Fat Cat, you know how good El Fat Cat is. So yeah, and yeah, same, like we switched everything over from like everything that was out of town to ordering everything local. We go with, we're partnered with a local bakery. We have them make us a custom scone that nobody else carries in Tri-Cities. It is a cinnamon scone and it's delicious. Our roast is roasted locally and is a local recipe that you can't get anywhere else. Two Sisters honey. Yeah, so we really want to create, you know, this local vibe that I feel like the Tri-Cities is missing. You know, there's a lot of corporations here and a lot of mom and pop shops, but I feel like we're missing something that Tri-Cities can call their own.
Well, and to be fair, like after, you know, now that roasters coffee is not a thing, there's a pretty big hole for that in Tri-Cities. And it's like, who's going to step up and fill that like hometown brand hole that it doesn't seem like anyone's really gotten into yet?
Yeah. I feel like people, you know, I feel like that's you know, I see that hole, you know, and that's kind of my envision, is to try to give Tri-Cities something that they can call theirs when it comes to the coffee industry. We're actually already in the works on building a second location.
Oh, wow.
We own property on a bombing range across the street from Yakima. Or I keep saying Yakima. Yokes. I keep calling Yokes Yakima. It's across the street from the entire city. No, so yeah, so we own property there. That'll be we're breaking ground soon. The building is going to be absolutely stunning. You're going to be able to sit inside, drive through. Yeah, it's going to be a really pretty building. A lot of glass, a lot of different materials, very modern. We'll have solar panels that operate it. And we're also working on a trailer that's Airstream. So we're working with this company from Dublin to custom make us an Airstream trailer that is huge. and it will be ran off of a battery and solar power. So it's going to be
Nice.
cool looking. It's going to be green. And yeah, we're really excited for all this kind of stuff. I don't know how much someone's going to try to get this before us, but we're all a team here.
Suffice it to say you're diving in head first.
Yeah, diving in definitely head first, man. So yeah, just having fun, man. I love making coffee and bringing opportunity to people. And in our mission statement, part of it is to create an entrepreneurial mindset. So yeah.
I'm curious about, so after a couple acquisitions on either end of, the stick, what was it like taking over the business, the people side, convincing the baristas to be all in? Because you mentioned finding people who are all in. I know you and I have had a couple conversations around it, but I've traveled around a little bit and met a lot of people as far as in the coffee shop, and it can go either way. You can have a handful of people who aren't down for the change. You can have everybody that's down for the change. What was your experience?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna purchase a company, I want to try to retain all those employees as much as possible. I want to keep them, and that's exactly what I absolutely try to do. But some people, their happiness is super important to me, and if they're not happy with the vision, then I'm going to have that conversation with them about, hey, listen, I want you to be happy, and I want you to do what's going to make you happy. And if this isn't it, then I'll support you in any other way, because happiness is super important. We do have a majority of the employees that are still there, and they're phenomenal, and they're following the vision, and they want to be a part of something that's growing. So yeah, but the volume has gone up. So when I say hiring new employees, is because we need more employees. Because the volume's gone up I've only owned it for 3 weeks.
That's crazy. Is that, do you attribute that to just maybe you said, your product, more organization, just the fact that you kind of went in actually knowing what you were doing?
Yeah, I went in knowing what I was doing. I went in and within a few days, I remodeled the entire store. I put in new dump sinks myself. I ordered new product, and just made sure that it was a sufficient machine in there, so the employees are set for success and could work functionally. So that was one big thing. But yeah, the product too. We changed the espresso to what I think is amazing. Changed all the food that was made out of town and delivered in frozen boxes to stuff that's made here locally in town, is fresh. The employees customer service too, teaching them how to treat people well when they're coming through, but not so much that they're in their face.
I'm curious about, I know I've worked with both of you guys on bar for a lot of years, and Jerick, you're a natural salesman at heart. So, how often are you in there pulling shots, teaching these kids how to fill the silence in between talking to because you don't want to be running out of things to talk to with the customer. We all have done it, but I feel like you have a knack for burning those seconds in between the awkward, pauses that can totally happen. So are you in there pulling shots, teaching them how to,
of course, 100%,
how to, shake down with the customers?
100%. I'm there. I've been there every single day from 2 to 13 hours per day, depending on what they need for success and to make sure that they feel supported. Because that's important too. You get a lot of these little coffee shops or even corporations that they don't support their employees. They're like, oh, here it is, you pass, fend for yourself, and I want to support them and make sure that they feel good and that they're healthy, and that they feel supported first and foremost. So I'm in there quite a bit. The last couple of days I haven't been in there because I've been really working hard on getting this new POS system up. So
the joys of POS systems. I'm curious.
I feel like Ben typing in every little detail.
I don't. Oh man, so many times of deleting a POS and having to fix it. Going into this with how much experience you have, what would you recommend if I was a brand new coffee, if I was just getting into it and I had no idea what I was doing? Would you recommend trying to go in and taking over or buying out a company like you did, or would you say go and do your own build, or start in the industry first and then try to own your own thing? Because
Well, I
you
mean,
got it from every angle right now.
yeah, no, definitely. There's pros and cons to all of it. I say just do it. Like it doesn't matter. Doesn't freaking matter. Like just do it. But there's pros and cons to all of it. Like buying an existing coffee shop, you've already got some, clientele. Building a new coffee shop, you've got to create that clientele from nothing. Whereas you have more control building a new coffee shop because you're planning it.
Yeah.
Every little detail is what you want, and it's super important for flow, organization, structure, and buying an existing one. They might have every single flavor of syrup imaginable that you've got to get rid of, or just like the smoothie mix on one side of the building and the blenders on the complete other side, as a small example of what I went through. But yeah, I mean, when you go in and you change that stuff from an existing location, the baristas really do see it and value it. They're like, holy moly, I didn't know I was walking that much.
Well, I imagine that probably helps with those sales too, because like all of a sudden your baristas are that much more efficient.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Like they had, yeah, it was absolutely bonkers. But
Have you had any pushback from the customers on the menu changes, or they're pretty stoked on it?
yeah, most everybody's really stoked on it. I wouldn't say we've had any real issues, because they didn't like the product was good, but once we started introducing like and suggesting some specific drinks, people were like, whoa. And then they tell their friends, and somebody would come back the next day and be like, hey, my buddy got this, I want it. I'm like, okay, sweet. And then it just keeps cycling.
So I know for me personally, I've gone through coffee shop, and some of the recipes are the same. How did you go about finding your naming conventions and actually feeling like changing from what I was going to call, say, a caramel mocha before to what we're going to call a caramel mocha now, and making it feel right in the brain and not alien on the tongue?
I came up with a huge list of names, and I wanted the names to be fun. Because Swig, like, it kind of feels and looks like more of a, kind of higher end, but I still want people to know that we're here to have fun. So I wanted my names to be fun.
Approachable.
Yeah, approachable. So, I mean, we've got a drink called the Slap, which has 6 shots in it. So you're going to get slapped. Yeah, pretty excited about that. Yeah. Also want to be kind of the Four Loko of coffee shops. So we've got a thing called Elevate, where you put a pump of Lotus inside of an energy drink. And then Lotus makes this odorless, scentless, tasteless, clear liquid that every pump is 80 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh my God.
So you can add that to orange juice, and your orange juice is going to taste the same.
That's a great idea, actually.
You want your chupacabra to have more caffeine, but not taste like more coffee? Add it, get it levitated, bro.
Dude, that would be, I'm just thinking about back when I was like 20-year-old barista me. That would have been so dangerous for me. Just pumps and pumps, just drinking pumps of like the Lotus. Oh my God.
It's pretty crazy, man. Yeah, it's a newer product from them called the Power Up, but we'll call it the Levitate. So hopefully people get it and understand it, and hopefully it goes well.
Just get cracked out.
Yeah. Four Loko of coffee shops, man.
You get like an ice water with some Levitate in there?
You could get an ice water, and it'll taste like water and have caffeine.
Dangerous. That's dangerous.
I'm gonna stop by with like a vodka Red Bull. Back to our scripted questions. What was the biggest milestone that you, or victory, that you were like, holy shit, I can't believe I did this, or I can't believe we made it through this?
Just seeing the numbers, man. Just seeing how well it's at. Not really the numbers, but like the amount of positive feedback we're getting from the community. It has been, blowing my mind.
That's awesome.
Yeah, another cool thing is starting the 8th, you can order online and pick up.
Are you guys gonna do a DoorDash or Uber Eats or anything like that?
I'm debating on it. I really want the coffee and the food to be fresh. So I've got to figure some stuff out with that before I commit to it. But I mean, it is on the books to do.
That was the one thing that we always debated back and forth, right, for a long time. Like, how do you control the quality
Yeah.
Like if they get an ice drink and it gets them like 25 minutes later and it's just water,
Yeah.
are they
And
going to blame you for that?
same with like the burritos. Like I'm so worried that it's sitting in somebody's car just sogging, and not gonna, because the way we cook it, like it's crispy on the outside and still moist on the inside. So if it sits for a while, then that crispiness is gonna go away. So that's definitely a challenge.
$8 and gets a soggy burrito and a watered down iced coffee. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah. So maybe not, man. I know corporations like to do it because they're about that bottom dollar. But that's I'm about the quality over that. So if
that's totally fair.
Quality is not there, then we're probably not going to do it. But yeah, I'll have to play around.
Are you doing printed cups? Are you doing stickers? Are you doing stamps? What are you doing?
We're doing printed cups. We've ordered printed cups. However, some will be stamped and stickered. So like the smaller sizes will be stamped and stickered at first until we open up the next store. And then it'll make sense for us to order printed for those sizes. To order the amount of like 12-ounce cups, we'd be sitting on it for like 5 years.
I guess that's actually a really fair question. Have you felt any rub against like any supply chain issues of trying to get products that are like either like astronomically expensive now or like not available or anything like that?
Yeah, right now straws are hard to come by, the specific straws that we need, but yeah, we're still having kind of slight supply chain issues. It isn't as bad as it was 3 months ago. It was really bad. Like we couldn't get 32 cups, we couldn't get 24-ounce cups, we couldn't get certain products. Tarani, they ran out of some ingredients on their sugar-free caramel and sugar-free white chocolate, and they had to completely redo their recipes. So I mean, thank God that's over. Good for Da Vinci, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, with the ripple effect of COVID and supply chain, yeah, there's been some struggles in the last 12 months for sure. But I feel like it's coming out. Another challenge, speaking of that, is finding a solid distributor.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, like I was struggling at first, but then the coffee shop we purchased had a distributor that like was pretty good priced, because I'm like, oh, we're going shopping at Cash and Carry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then yeah, I mean, there's little teeny distributors out there similar to Poor Avalanche. RIP. There's a lot out there. You just really have to search, I suppose.
Yeah.
Little mom and pop distributors.
Yeah, with those mom and pops, you kind of just have to like know about them, because it's not like, I mean, I remember it's not like they had like a super huge marketing budget or website. It was kind of like, if you knew where to look.
Yeah. No, definitely. So that was kind of a struggle, but luckily they had it. Yeah, really excited.
Big stuff, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. It's been challenging but really rewarding.
It's been years in the making, as they say.
Been years in the making, for sure.
Alrighty, Jerick. Well, we are at our 30 minutes. Thank you very much for joining us this week on Coffee Experts Club.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Thanks so much for joining us today. For those of you who are looking to become a coffee expert yourself, we offer an incredible, thorough training online for opening your first coffee drive-thru at www.myfirstdrivethru.coffee.